You're now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome in to the annual Palmetto Dugout Show, Pic Em Show. We've got Espo, we've got Austin, and we got Sean Smith somewhere far, far away who's not in here, but we'll reveal his picks. What's going on, guys?
What's happening? We doing all right today?
I can't complain since we got Austin on the show.
Never been better.
We had quite the talk before we hit the record button, but we will not go in depth on that the pregame ceremonies of the Palmetto Dugout Show.
I think our viewership would climb and our clientele would broaden if
I think so, but I'm not sure that we would have a job.
A couple of us would definitely be unemployed.
I think all three of us would no longer have a job. But maybe this would become the full-time gig. But if our conversations were out there, so we'll move on from that. That's for another into the future or something.
Yeah, once we are jobless, we'll start doing that. Hey, so you recap the regular season. How about this? All three of us finished with the same exact record for the whole entire year.
That's pretty. I don't know if that's impressive or pitiful. I mean, it goes that long and have no winner. I mean, I guess the only thing I could say is there was a collapse in there, but I don't know who that was, but it wasn't me.
I made some. I don't know if I overestimated my lead that I had going into that last week. I picked Oklahoma State to beat Texas. What are we doing?
The last 2 weeks, it was a tough time for you.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there. It's okay. The good news is I'm off to the races here with the bowl pick'em.
7-0 start for Austin.
I mean, just especially these early bowl games, man. You're just shooting from the hip because you never know who's playing. You never know who's not playing. What coach is leaving. I tried to do a little bit of research to at least pick everybody that I picked. I hope that their quarterback was going to still be there. So.
You don't even know half the schools that are playing right now.
No, I mean, there's a couple teams I picked. I'm not sure what state they were in. Texas Tech was kind of a gimme, I assume there, but Ohio, that was another easy one.
Hey, well, we have new rules for this bowl pick'em. The first 25 games are all worth 1 point. Now there are some games that are worth 2 as we get later in the bowl season, and then your New Year's Six bowl is worth 3, Balloon Man. 3 points.
How does that happen?
What happened? It happens every show that we do this. You're always got some kind of – is it someone's birthday? I mean, we're at that time of the year.
No, we passed
almost Sammy's birthday.
My birthday's next.
February.
Coming in hot.
It's slowly coming in there.
I think it's February 17th, right?
16th. You were close. Very, very close.
Oh, it was close. I only remember that from the passcode.
1982, right?
Give you our computer passcodes.
So, obviously, Sean's the guest picker. He was the top guest picker of the regular season. Go figure. So Austin, since you're 7-0, we'll let you kick this thing off as I announce the game. Then we'll go Sammy, then me, then Sean. So with the 7-0 start, we got one today. Western Kentucky, Old Dominion, 2.5 point favorites.
Give me the Hilltoppers.
Is that just because you know where one school's located, what state it's in?
No, I'm actually on my ESPN thing right here, and I did my bowl pick'em, and I know that I picked Western Kentucky, so this is going to go well.
I too will pick Western Kentucky while we're at it.
That's a strong pick. I'm going to go the other route. Give me the Monarchs of Old Dominion. TJ Aiken at Old Dominion now. Give me them. And then Sean is rolling. I'm going to give my pick. He's going Western Kentucky too. There's 3 picks for Western Kentucky.
Yeah, it looks like we're 3-1 right here.
Yeah, ESPN only 17% picked Old Dominion on ESPN. So,
well, I'll be of that 17%.
Maybe we could up it to 18 with Drew's pick.
17.2.
There you go.
The UTSA takes on Marshall in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Marshall is 13-point underdog.
Give me the Roadrunners.
The Roadrunners.
I'm going with the Roadrunners as well. They put up. That coach was in the mix for some jobs. He's staying put. I don't know if that's because he wanted to or didn't. Maybe he just got silver all the time. But they've done a great job there. Roadrunners win big.
We are not Marshall. Give me the Roadrunners. Sean's rolling with the Roadrunners as well. So 4 across the board.
Clean sweep.
You got to stay with me on these names. The roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl.
Raton,
University.
Boca Raton.
See, I said,
well, that's that Chester. That's that Chester.
Yes, sir.
I got to go hop on the bike after we're done and scoot out of here. Anyway, South Florida takes on Syracuse. Syracuse 3-point favorites.
Give me the Bulls.
Coach, the Orangemen just got a big pickup in the portal the other day.
That'll help them next year.
I don't know if he can play right now. I don't know these rules anymore. I saw one team was breaking out some video stuff. I'm going with the Cuse. I think the Orangemen gonna keep this train rolling, this momentum, and get a dub.
Hey, the Cuse finished up hot in one of the best conferences in the country. And I think the Cuse continues to roll here. Give me the Cuse. Sean's also going with the Cuse.
You hung me out to dry.
Well, I mean, that's you. Then we go to the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. UCF takes on Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is 4.5-point underdogs.
Give me the Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech here from that dominant ACC conference you mentioned earlier. Give me some of the Yellow Jackets.
You're a hell of an engineer. UCF, I think I wanted to like them like every time we did any kind of pick 'em with them, and I feel like they always let me down. Georgia Tech, they played some good games this year, but I think they're too. I don't think they're good enough. So I'm gonna go UCF, breaking out a big dub.
Ooh, I've never liked Gus Malzahn. The Gus bus is gonna break down here. Give me the Rambling Wreck and a big win to once again just lift up the best conference in the country. And then let's see, Sean's going. He's going Rambling Wreck too. Watch out.
Ooh, I'm flying solo on this one.
You're on the Gus bus all alone.
I've been on the Gus bus for a while. I think the guy got a raw deal, and when I say a raw deal, he got paid a lot of money to leave and go coach somewhere else, so he's still getting paid a whole lot of money. So maybe got a great deal. I don't know.
Doesn't seem like much of a raw deal to me.
Yeah, he got a great deal. He probably got a better deal than coaching at Auburn at UCF. So with a lot more money in his pocket.
Close to Disney World too.
Is that a positive?
For Austin, it is.
Depends on how many kids.
Yeah, for the nannies can take him, I guess.
Hey, this is a really fun bowl here. The Birmingham Bowl. Duke takes on Troy in the best city in the country of Birmingham. Austin, roll with it.
You've never been to Birmingham, but give me Troy.
What do you think the over/under is on attendance for this one? Because we know the Cameron 500. I was going to say the Cameron Crazies will be out in full force.
There'll be more people there than there was at the Panthers game yesterday.
45 cents for a ticket, I saw. Could have got a ticket for 45 cents. I'm going with Troy as well. Troy.
I have to look at who I picked here. I'm going Troy. Duke doesn't have a quarterback.
They're coachless, quarterbackless. What do
they're
they?
Everythingless. And they're going to be winless as Troy gets the win. And then Sean's rolling Troy too, so a clean sweep across the board.
Duke's had some big wins this year.
Had some big
when they
losses
had a
too.
coach and quarterback.
I just wanted to throw it out there. They've
wanted
won
to
some
throw it
games
out
this
there.
year. Most people didn't think they were going to win.
They had a big opening game of the year.
We head to the Camilla Bowl. I guess I said that right. I don't know anymore. Arkansas State takes on Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois, 1 point underdogs.
I've got a degree from Arkansas State, so I'm going to go with the Red Wolves.
Yeah. I love insight. That's what makes this show great, right? Who else picks Arkansas State because of that?
Well, I don't have a degree from Northern Illinois, so.
I don't know anything about either one of these schools if they're any good at football, but I'm gonna go with Arkansas State because what is that? Jonesboro? Jonesville?
Their coach is the guy that got canned at Tennessee and used to smoke cigars in Alabama. Butch, yeah.
Butch Davis, right? Yeah.
Butch, yeah.
Yeah, they got
Butch
boat
Jones.
raced earlier this. Butch Jones, that's right. Butch Davis,
Jones.
old North Carolina coach, wouldn't mind. Yeah, Butch Jones. They got boat raced by somebody earlier this year, and he was like sobbing on the sidelines. One of his players was told him. But he's making the comeback, and he's getting the W in the bowl game.
That's right.
My God.
Me and Sean are going to stay on each other's side here. Northern Illinois for the win. They always play good in bowl games. They play good in this one.
They do. That's the only time anybody ever sees them play.
Exactly, and that's when they play good. We got the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. James Madison takes on Air Force. Air Force 2.5 point underdog.
I didn't know this was their mascot. Give me the Dukes.
Woo! I think this one's going to be a good game. This one, like on paper, has got
Yeah.
James Madison got a little upset because they didn't get to play in their conference championship because of the new rules or whatever. But somehow they get to play in a bowl game. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But
6-win teams.
Correct. But I'm going to go. I'm going with America. I'm going America on here. Team America. Those planes that fly over my house every day, that shake the house and feel like the bombs are coming down. We're going with Air Force.
We had one of those come by old Juster today.
Might be the same plane. I mean, it don't take long.
It might be. Austin can't change his pick now. James Madison, starting quarterback, is not playing. So apparently he didn't look at all the quarterbacks not playing. He has decided to hit the transfer portal.
Austin did too.
I don't think the Dukes have enough. Air Force shows up when it matters. While they're in Air Force, give me USA. And then Sean is also rolling with Air Force. You're only Duke.
Okay. Should
have went with Duke earlier. This is my favorite bowl. Famous Idaho Potato Bowl. It's Utah State versus Georgia State. Georgia State 1 point underdog.
I'm going Georgia State. I don't have a good reason why. That's who I picked on ESPN, so we're going to stick with them.
Their head coach headbutts all their offensive linemen before the game, or
he
does.
He used to be at the Gamecocks.
Mm-hmm. His family still lives in Columbia here.
Good for him.
Fun fact. I guess his kids are old enough. They're like, we ain't going nowhere. I don't know how it works, but good for him. I'm going with Panthers, Georgia State as well. When it comes to that one, they got a long trip, but they'll go out there and they'll have them ready.
I'm done picking teams in the state of Georgia. Give me Utah State. I took Georgia Southern for the first bowl game of the year and they lost. I'm done picking teams in Georgia. Give me Utah State. Sean is also going Utah State.
The Utes.
The
Not
Utes.
really. The Ute State.
Aggies.
The
Aggies.
He just saw the logo on his pick 'em. That's why he said that.
He's looking at his phone.
The 68 Ventures Bowl, South Alabama versus Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan, 16-point underdogs.
Wow.
That gives me reason enough. I'm going South Alabama. Give me the Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've said it all year long. Vegas usually knows something, something that big. Jags. Coach Calvy's going to get the boys fired up over there. Oh, he's a baseball coach, but nevertheless, South Alabama's going to win.
Yeah.
Hey, Vegas knows something, but it's a bowl game. I think Eastern Michigan covered. South Alabama wins. Easy. Sean goes South Alabama too. Now I can't even read this anymore. The SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. Utah versus Northwestern. Northwestern 6.5-point underdogs.
Now we can go with the Utes.
Yeah, I think I've bet against it or picked and bet. I've picked against the Utes all year, and I've lost all year. I think with that, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Utes for the dub here. Even though, by the way, did y'all see that football facility Northwestern's going to build? The renderings.
I didn't, but what's even better is what the men's and women's basketball players at Utah got for the NIL funds.
And the gymnastics girls.
Yeah, so that gives me a reason to pick the Utes.
On the flip side, Northwestern, I kind of wish I would have picked them because I had to give it to that guy. He had a good year because they canned that coach like 2 weeks before the season started because they were – I don't remember what happened. They were bullying people or something. I don't remember exactly. But
well, Sean shared your sentiments and he took Northwestern.
I mean, they hired that guy as the interim coach, and that was a dumpster fire. They're always bad. And he 7-5 bowl eligible. They play that side of the Big Ten, though. That I think aren't they on that side over there that nobody's good in?
Yeah,
the Legends or something like that.
The Legends. There's no. Oh gosh,
that's
the
big
Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. Coastal Carolina takes on San Jose State.
Speaking of attendance,
10-point favorites.
Speaking of attendance again of a game,
Hawaii.
Give me the team from Conway.
You know, nothing like a flight from Conway, South Carolina, to Honolulu, Hawaii. Right? I mean, that's just right over the.
It might as well be the same place. Myrtle Beach, Hawaii, similar.
Very similar. Very similar. You know, I'm gonna go. Only reason I'm going this way, big shout out to Coach Schnall for sending my son a gift for a Coastal Carolina hat for Christmas. So I'm gonna pick the Shants on that one. So we got a nice little Christmas gift from the Shants down there. So we're gonna go with Coastal Carolina for the dub.
He has a recruiting violation.
He's not of age. Are there any violations anymore? Doesn't even matter.
He's in the transfer
the NIL package from the big red box.
God, here we go.
Sorry. I'll rein it back in. My bad.
Hey, give me the Aztecs. Sean's taking the Aztecs as well.
Who's the Aztecs?
That's San Jose State, isn't it?
That's San Diego State.
Come on, dude.
All the same things. Give me the Spartans. Sean's going Spartans as well.
If y'all take the Aztecs,
lock it up
automatically lose.
This guy's so ready to get in his motorcycle gang. He can't lock in right now.
Well, I mean, they said they're meeting up at 12:30, so we got to roll.
He's going to Chester National over there, I guess. He's got tea time in a little while.
Oh my gosh, this is awful. The Quick Lane Bowl, Bowling Green versus Minnesota. Minnesota 4-point favorites.
Give me the Falcons. I like PJ Fleck, but they went 5-7 this year. I think they're rowing the boat in the wrong direction. They're rowing backwards.
So we're going to take a Big Ten team with 5-7 gets into a bowl game. That's when and they're on that side of the.
I think they're also legends.
They're on the legend side. No offense, no 5-7 team from that side of that division should get into the postseason. With that being said, they're probably going to win, but I'm going with Bowling Green as well.
Give me the Gophers. The Gophers win. I think me and Sean picked the same things. Sean's going Gophers as well.
Because you're looking at his picks right now.
Yeah.
No, mine have already been locked. They've been highlighted and see, I'm good to go.
It looks like a fancy sheet.
This is how I keep up with all your picks.
A lot better than what we're working with.
I'm working with my kitchen table.
He's working with his phone over here.
Yep. I'm just going off who I picked during lunch duty the other day.
Hey, we got the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl, Texas State versus Rice. Rice 4.5-point underdog.
If Rice still had JT Daniels, I was going to pick him, but I think he got like medically or aged out of college football, so I'm going with Texas State.
The fact that Rice is in a bowl game is a phenomenal accomplishment because they have been the doormat of college football for many and many years. But with that being said, I don't know how their overall season went, but every time I saw Texas State score, they had like 60 points. They still might have lost some of those. So I think they're going to outscore Texas in a great state of Texas shootout and win. San Marcos is going to be bumping with the river.
Glad you know all these historical facts. Give me Texas State.
For 3 years.
Sean is going with Rice.
What's wrong with him?
I like picking Rice with a backup quarterback.
Is going Rice. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl, really good one here. Kansas and UNLV, 12.5-point underdogs. UNLV.
Give me the Jayhawks.
Kansas, incredible season.
Yeah, Kansas across the board. I'm going Kansas. Sean's going UNLV.
Ooh.
Bold move.
He's a loser.
Does he think Jerry Tarkanian's still coaching there with the town?
They don't even know who that is.
No.
God.
Yeah, he did. But I mean,
hey, we got the Military Bowl, Virginia Tech versus Tulane. Tulane 7.5-point underdogs.
I'm upset about this one because I picked Tulane and now the quarterback's not playing and their coach has bailed and went to Houston. So the two things that I was really looking for, they have neither one, but I'm sticking with them. Give me the green wave.
Virginia Tech's pretty bad. The only thing they got going for them is their entrance into the stadium. And they're not going to have that in this bowl game. And I'm with you. I know Tulane's coach is out, but they always seem to rally around the assistant coach at that point in time because their players probably want that guy hired, and he's probably not going to get hired. I don't know what's happening with that, but I'm going with the green wave as well.
I agree. Tulane wins. Sean goes Virginia Tech.
Of course he does.
He's going totally different than us. The Duke's Mayo Bowl. North Carolina takes on West Virginia. West Virginia 6.5-point favorites.
Give me the Mountaineers. Mainly because I don't want to see Mac Brown get mayonnaise dumped on his head.
If that jar hits Mac in the head like it hit Beamer a couple years ago, or whenever that was, we might have some issues. If you'd asked all of us this, first of all, like in the middle of the season, we would have thought everybody's crazy that North Carolina was going to be in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. And then they just proceeded to tank it down the stretch, and my Wolfpack embarrassed them at the end of the year. I'm going against the Tar Heels. I even forgot who you said playing against them. But it doesn't matter. They're not winning.
Yeah, they don't have a quarterback. They don't have any wide receivers. West Virginia wins big. And Sean goes West Virginia as well.
Country roads.
Take me home to the Holiday Bowl where Louisville takes on USC. Look at that transition. USC 7.5-point underdogs.
Who at the beginning of the season would have pegged that the Trojans of USC would be 7.5-point underdogs in the DirecTV Holiday Bowl? Because it wouldn't have been me. And they just lost their other quarterback because for some reason they wanted to take a transfer from Kansas State. So they lost the guy that was the number 1 overall player last year. Give me Louisville.
Even if Southern Cal, which by the way, I watched their basketball team play yesterday with all the hype with Bronny James, and Auburn beat them by like 30. The whole Southern Cal train, that's long gone, like 30 years ago. Louisville, I think that coach is a hell of a coach that's there, and he's done an incredible job turning a program around that had like nothing last year end up playing for a ACC championship this year, I'm gonna go with fighting Brahms of Louisville with ease.
Yeah, Louisville wins big. John's going Louisville as well, so there's your clean sweep. The Tax Act Texas Bowl. Texas A&M takes on Oklahoma State. This will be our last 1 point game here. Last 1 point game. Oklahoma State 2 point underdogs.
Give me Gundy. I like him. He's a man.
He's over 40 now.
I don't think I was going to say he's 40, but I don't think he's 40 anymore. I think he's pushing closer to 55.
That's a big jump of numbers. Hope my age don't go that way. They lost their running back. He's to the portal. A&M
has lost everybody.
All their players.
Whose
backups are better? New coaching staff coming over there to A&M. I'm just going to go A&M. I watched the Oklahoma State game with all their players playing for a Big 12 championship and kind of got embarrassed.
Yeah, but if you watch A&M starters, they're not any good either. So you said they're
bad coaching.
It's Jimbo.
It was Jimbo's fault.
You call it bad coaching. I call it dude's a genius. He's going to get like $8 million a year for the next 20 years. So he's a close second to Otani right now for smartest people on the planet.
I'm going give me Gundy. Oklahoma State wins. Sean's going Oklahoma State as well. He went against the SEC. Watch out, Sean.
Gundy's son is in the transfer portal. I wonder how that
very
is
interesting.
Going. He's not going to Christmas.
You're like our 8th string quarterback.
That's probably not going to be.
We need to open up some spots. I think you need to go ahead and get in that portal.
Do you think Dad talked him into it?
I think Dad was like, "Do you want to play the game of football ever again? Go somewhere." And I'm yelling at all my players because I'm a man.
Oh my gosh. This is a 2 point bowl game. It is the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Boston College takes on SMU. Let's go to the SMU's 11-point favorites.
Yeah, give me the Mustangs.
A future ACC matchup right here.
It is.
SMU blowout. Not even close.
Nothing says Atlantic Coast Conference like Texas
or California. SMU rolls here, but Sean is trying to steal the 2 points and takes the Eagles. Boston College.
It'll be a tough bus ride in the future for them boys.
A long haul on a Greyhound. You might have to upgrade and fly Spirit.
Oh, this gets worse and worse. Another. We're halfway through. A little more than halfway. Another 2 point game. This is Austin's Bowl, the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. As Rutgers takes on Miami. Miami 1.5 point favorites.
You know, Miami is like North Carolina. Once upon a time, they were doing good, and then when they lost that game, when they should have took the knee, I don't remember who they were playing. Was it Georgia Tech?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just went in the toilet after that. But they also beat the Tigers this year, didn't they?
Yep. Who didn't?
Give me the Hurricanes. Give me the Canes.
You know,
All about the U, baby.
A team from down in South Florida going way up into the Northeast in the winter, and they don't really want to be there anyway. Rutgers is trying to prove something. Is Shiano back?
He's still there.
Still up there? He's roughhousing. I'll take the boys from Jersey.
Tennessee didn't
whip
want
up on the Canes. Rutgers blow it. Rutgers just puts it on them.
It's probably a good pick.
Give me the U. Give me the U. We're not doing the U down. U wins this game. I think they don't have a quarterback either, but Rutgers is Rutgers. When has Rutgers ever been good in the 20th, 21st century?
Chiano like 5 years ago.
And it didn't count. That was once a blue moon. Miami wins the ball game, but Sean is going with Rutgers as well.
Me and Sean get 2 points.
Shiano was good enough at Rutgers. He got an NFL gig out of it. He did do that.
He got paid again. Again, great move.
Yep.
Hey, here's your next bowl. They're going to have an edible mascot for the winner. It is the Pop-Tarts Bowl. It's worth 2 points. NC State takes on Kansas State. Kansas State 3-point favorites.
Give me the Wolfpack.
Edible. And look at him. Here we go again. It likes
I'm
to
on
do
some.
this.
Speaking of some edibles. Speaking of that.
Who did you go with, Austin?
I picked the Wolfpack before Sammy's deal he did here.
Do I even need to make a pick?
No, you picked the Wolfies. You're good.
By default.
Hey, give me the Wolfies.
You got a degree from there. You got to pick them.
Yeah.
And how about this?
That's the rule.
John going with Kansas State.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
They don't have a quarterback. Careful.
Well, neither does NC State.
Yeah, well.
Or Armstrong playing.
No, he's back.
He's
The
coming
guy
back.
who wasn't, he was there. He was playing. He wasn't playing. He's back playing. Now they got a Coastal Chanticleer going up there to be the quarterback.
Ooh, yeah, I saw that. Grayson.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how good they are.
Coach, I think the
Yeah.
Wolfpack also beat a certain team on this.
Okay, now to the Valero Alamo Bowl. It is Arizona versus Oklahoma. Oklahoma 3-point underdogs.
I want Arizona. If Oklahoma still had their quarterback, I'd take them, but he bailed and he decided to go be a Duck. So I'm going with the Wildcats.
Speaking of a turnaround, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were all of like non-existent of college football for the past however many years. And whoever the coach is, I don't know who he is, but he came in and all of a sudden they were in the mix for the Pac-12. Yeah, I'm with you. You know, Oklahoma, no quarterback. I know they got a Clemson Tiger running around there as the head coach, but the Wildcats, I think they put it on them.
Hey, give me, Arizona wins big here. Sean's also going Arizona. Watch out now.
That Valero
Tech-
Alamo Bowl is historically like 70.
It's really good.
65.
Yeah.
Yes, it's always a very entertaining game.
Yeah, and I don't know about Arizona's defense, but Oklahoma's isn't very good. So we'll see.
Hey, they better get it right going to the SEC. Their last game is a Big 12 member.
Best of luck to them.
Yeah, best of luck.
Come to the big boy league.
The Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Clemson takes on Kentucky. Kentucky 5-point underdogs.
Ooh.
I think the final score of this one's going to be like 13-9. Give me the Tigers.
Who is Kentucky missing anybody?
It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Did they have anybody to start with? Do they have anybody?
They had the running back.
They had the running back. He's still playing, right? He's still there.
Yeah.
The quarterback was a former Wolfpacker. I think the trend continues with Wolfpackers whipping up on Tigers. I'm gonna go with the Wildcats. Coach Stoops for the dub. I think they'll be able to run it.
I will be present in Jacksonville on that date. The Wildcats cannot. No one has statistically been able to run the ball against the Tigers. That's the only thing Kentucky can do because whatever O'Leary at NC State couldn't do it against the Tigers previously, and he's going to face them again. Tigers win by 24 points, Coach.
Coach, what? I mean, what?
Coach,
What are you? What?
has
Speaking of
Clemson
that
scored?
edible,
Have they scored 24 points in a game this year?
I know we moved on from the edible bowl, but what do you got going on up there at Chester right now? I mean,
Jeez.
It's that motorcycle gang stuff.
what are they going to win? 24-0? I mean, come on.
34-10.
Jeez.
God.
And other news, Sean is also going with Kentucky. So
And
he also just Too bad.
I'm sticking with my 13
Tony?
to 9. That might be on the high end. It might be more in the 7-6 ballpark. Clemson can get a defensive touchdown.
I feel like could you imagine if Iowa was in this bowl game as well?
Ooh.
3-man weave.
Setting offense back.
3-man week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we have Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Notre Dame takes on Oregon State. Oregon State is 6-point underdogs.
Give me the Irish. Beavers have had a mass exodus over there. Their coach didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
He played there.
Well, they don't have a conference.
Yeah, give me Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
They don't have a conference either, but whatever.
They've never had a conference.
Don't need one. Chip Kelly.
Give me Notre Dame. Sean's going Oregon State quarterbackless. They're running the Wildcat the whole game.
Could you imagine having to be the sports book, the bookie trying to pick these and trying to go, all right, who just left? Yeah. I mean, that might be the hardest job right now in the nation.
Yeah, but they can move the lines up and down as it gets closer, whereas we lock our picks in.
Yeah. We're
not picking on the line.
We're picking games that are over a week away.
How we do it?
That's when you and it's amazing we had the records we had.
It's true.
Maybe we should be
bookies. No, we should not.
We got the motorcycle gang. We got the motorcycle gang first.
I got the supply chain, the supply route. We have the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Memphis versus Iowa State. Iowa State 8.5-point favorites.
I didn't know that, but I'm going with Memphis. Iowa State, I think that's what that coach out there, he was a really big name there for a while. I think he held on to his cards too long, and now he's on the closer side of getting paid to leave than leaving to get paid. So,
Then did he not hold on to his cards too long?
Maybe that's what he's trying to do.
Yes. Well, you guys please fire me. I got 5 years left.
He was one of those guys that was like the finalist, or maybe he's like the guy from you said earlier. He just kept finishing. Silver's his favorite color.
Yeah, Brock Purdy.
He did have Brock Purdy.
MVP.
That's pretty good.
Game manager.
Game manager. Guy's got great stats.
That's what they said on ESPN the other day. I'm just the messenger.
Don't shoot you. I'm going Memphis.
Me too.
Ooh. Are you taking Memphis because of the new transfer they just got because he went to greener grass?
Big pickup. Guy decides to leave an SEC school to go to Memphis. And he was the starting running back.
Newberry, South Carolina to Memphis? Who's going to be next?
Hell of a route.
San Jose State? Aztecs?
He'll be with the Dallas Spartans.
He's going to go be an Aztec. San Jose.
Well, I'll switch it up. Iowa State ended the year very well, and they'll take the dub here. Sean's also going Iowa State. Okay, now we move to this is a 3-point game. Okay, watch out.
Long-range
3 points.
On the
3
line.
points. It is the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Missouri takes on Ohio State. Ohio State 2.5-point underdogs.
This is gonna be a good one. I think this is gonna be a really good one. Give me the Tigers, though. I like that. I like the coach. I liked him when he was at App State. I like him at Missouri. He's doing things up there. Give me Missouri. I think all their people are gonna play. They've got a running back I really like. Schrader, I think is his last name. Like him a lot.
I'm with you. I think they're, he had a great comment. They were interviewing him the other day, and he acted like he was getting a call coming in from Connor Stallion. It's pretty entertaining.
He's funny.
He's a funny guy. But they're good. They were outside of Alabama. They were about the closest team to end the reign of Georgia earlier this year down in Georgia.
Gave him a run.
They gave him a run. If you'd put that Missouri Tiger team in almost every other conference out there, they'd be first or second. But unfortunately, they play in the big boy SEC, and the kind of the attrition got them. But I think they go up, and I think it's a good game. I know Ohio State's lost a bunch of players, but their quarterback went to Syracuse. But that's a tough move. I'm going with Missouri.
You know what Harbaugh said? Ryan Day was born on third, thinking he hit a triple. There he is. So they're still standing on third. Honestly, I think he might have got I think he missed second. I think they called him out. I don't even think he got the triple.
Oh my gosh. I don't. Missouri wins the ball game. Sean also goes Missouri. I don't even know what to say anymore. Another 3-point game. This is the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Ole Miss takes on Penn State. Penn State 3.5-point favorites.
I have a hard time with that because Penn State is like some of these other teams we've talked about. I don't know if they know how to score points. So I'm going to Ole Miss. Give me the Lane Train, who has also been very hot, active in the portal. The Rebs might be they might be on something.
What's he called? The SIP? Going to the SIP?
Got Juice Wells yesterday too.
Did get Juice Wells. He bought him some juice to come on out there. I'm with you. I'm all about the Lane Train. I don't care where the Lane Train has ever coached. I've always kind of felt like I've been part of the Lane Train. And I think old Mississippi can do some things, and I'm with you. Penn State, man, it's like watching a game from back in like the 30s or something. It's 3 yards in a cloud of dust, if that at best. So I'm going with the Lane Train.
Yeah, ain't even a big cloud of dust either. It's just like
it's like a tumbleweed blowing by.
It's like an umpire wiping off the plate when he really didn't need to. Solid.
On the turf field.
Yeah, catcher got hit in the mask with a ball, so he's trying to give him some time.
Give me Ole Miss. Sean goes Ole Miss as well. The 3-point games have been sweep so far. Back to a 2-point game here is the Trans Perfect Music City Bowl. Auburn takes on Maryland. Maryland 2.5-point underdogs.
Give me the Fighting Hugh Freezes.
Can Tua Part 2 beat Auburn? The Tua Bowl.
Is he playing?
Well, no, his brother is the quarterback.
I know. Is what I'm saying. Is his brother playing?
Okay, he's good right now, ain't he? I'm with you. I'm going Hugh Freeze. I feel like Maryland's one of those teams. What's his name? Lockley. What's his name? The coach up there always got a lot of buzz about doing stuff and this and that.
Yeah,
they just don't ever beat nobody. Loxley. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going with the Freezinator. I just made up a nickname.
Give me the Terrapins. That is the Chester County animal. Give me the Terrapins, the ones that snap and bite.
What conference are they in now?
Get one of them snapping turtles. Get you a snapping turtle.
Snapper Terrapins. These things, when they bite you, they don't let go, and they're not going to let go of Mr. Hugh Freeze. Give me the Terrapins, and Sean's going with the Terrapins as well. They're just stealing the bowl week.
Snapping turtles.
Don't let go. We got a 3-point game here, in a game that probably get canceled before it even kicks off. Is the Capital One Orange Bowl, and it is Florida State versus Georgia. Georgia 14-point favorites.
Well, I mean, does Austin even need to speak?
Got out.
I do have something I would like to speak on. One of these teams I think should have been in the playoffs personally, and I know it's not going to be who you think it was.
I know who you're about to say.
I think the Seminoles got Houdini'd there personally. I know it's. I have two ways I think this game got Houdini'd. If you're taking the 4 most deserving, Florida State should have got in. If you're taking the 4 best, Georgia should have got in, because I firmly believe Georgia would house at least 2, if not 3 of those teams in the Final Four.
They obviously wouldn't house Alabama.
Give me the Dogs.
As everybody's beating this one to death on it, I think this is one of the few times I would say we needed more teams in a playoff.
I agree.
Usually it's like, no, they don't need to be in. Yes, I know they had 1 loss or whatever, but they don't need to be in there. This is the first year. You can't go – I get the whole Alabama, Texas ahead of – people arguing them ahead of Florida State. But, yeah, I mean, the other 2 teams that you can't really say much about. I don't know. I think this on paper, I think me and you talked about this before. This has that old school feel of these two big boys that aren't in like the playoff type thing, but I don't know who's playing for any of them anymore. Georgia's had a mass exodus. You know, who's going to be the quarterback for Florida State? Who do they got sticking around? I would always be on the Georgia bandwagon, but I'm going Florida State with some redemption. Going Florida State, whipping it up on the Dogs in Atlanta on New Year's Eve. Is it still New Year's Eve?
December 30th.
It's almost there. We're close.
In Miami too, not in Atlanta. Miami.
I know,
Orange
but
Bowl.
I'm old school Peach Bowl, Orange Bowl. Yeah. So either way, we're going with Florida State for the win.
Austin picked against Georgia. I mean, not Austin. Sammy picked against Georgia before I could, so watch out. However, give me the Dogs. Florida State doesn't have a quarterback. They can't score. And Georgia's not going to allow them to score many points. But I think it's a closer game than 14 points. And Sean's going with Georgia as well.
You guys are losers.
Of course we are. Okay, also. This is a really good bowl. It is a 2-point bowl. It is the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl. Toledo takes on Wyoming. Wyoming, 3-point favorites.
Give me the Cowboys.
Drew, I really hope the camera's on you on that point.
It was not on me. It was on you.
Can that be in the opening of the show?
It was on there.
I'm going with the Cowboys as well. And I think this one might be the best atmosphere of any bowl game out there, or at least the festivities leading up to the bowl game in itself for Barstool. But Cowboys.
Give me Wyoming. Sean goes Wyoming. Another 2-point game here, the Relic Quest Bowl. Wisconsin, LSU. LSU, 8.5-point favorite.
Give me the Tigers.
Tigers.
Vegas does not know anything. LSU rolls on this one.
Is Heisman playing in it?
Yeah, I think he is.
I'll take them either way. They got a pretty good backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. LSU rolled. Sean's doing LSU as well. Another 2-point game is the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Iowa, Tennessee. Tennessee, 8-point favorites.
I hate this team as much as any team on the planet, but I'm going Rocky Top today.
Is this your number one most hated team?
Close second behind Florida. I don't know. Actually, I think I hate Tennessee more right now just because they're more relevant right now. That Florida situation's so bad, it's hard to hate them.
Kind of feel bad for them.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Rocky Top. I don't know who's playing for any of them, but I just think Rocky Top will be able to score a few more points than Iowa will.
I think Joe Milton's going to throw like 7 touchdowns, and all the Tennessee people are going to think they're back again for like.
They're back.
They're playing.
I don't think Iowa can score.
They can't score 10 points, guaranteed.
Tennessee wins this one. Sean goes Tennessee as well. 3 games left. They're all 3-pointers. 3 games left. The VRBO, the Verbo Fiesta Bowl, Oregon, Liberty, 17.5-point underdogs.
I got 2 predictions there. One, I think Oregon wins the game, and 2, I think it's Dan Lanning's last game at Oregon. But we'll go further in a minute. We'll get there.
I know where he's going with it.
Give me the Ducks.
Coach, you sound like you got some breaking news on the cusp right here.
I'm like Pete Thamel.
Breaking news over here. This will be a good game. I really do. I think Liberty, the coach over there, when he was at Coastal, they always found ways to score points. They kind of got an interesting offense. I think they're going to score a lot of points. Oregon scores and gives up a lot anyway, but I'm with you. I think it's going to be a tight game, and I think Oregon comes out because I think all their guys are playing. Bo Nix is playing his 700th career college football game, and I think they'll use that experience to push them over.
Everybody's going to Oregon here. Me and Sean as well. I don't think Liberty can keep up. Bo Nix's last game in college.
You sure?
I think think he started when I got my beginner's permit. What?
Oh, my comments to myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna swallow that one and keep going.
The Rose Bowl is the playoff game. It takes Michigan, Alabama. Currently, the line is a pick 'em line.
Part of me wants Michigan to win the whole thing just because everybody was against them all year. But I think I can't pick against Uncle Nick. This goes further with my plot that I got going here.
I know where he's going with his plotting.
Yeah.
And I feel good about it. I feel good about it.
He's been on the message board.
Remember the name Bill Belichick. Keep going, though.
I'm going to Alabama. Sammy, you're up. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide on the message boards. I've said all year long you can't ever pick against Nick Saban, and I picked against him. I picked against him at the end of the year, and he came back to beat me. So I will learn my lesson, and I'll take my chewing from old Uncle Nick, as Austin calls him. I think Coach Saban, I don't know. There's something about him. I think Michigan is good. I think Harbaugh's done a good job. If this was the exact same Alabama team and like Kirby Smart was coaching them or Dan Lanning was coaching them, I would pick Michigan, but I can't go against Coach Saban with his Ferrari. You know what I mean? Roll Tide.
Who's got a Ferrari dealership?
He's got it figured out.
He's got like 8 dealerships.
Sounds like a good retirement gig.
Here we go. We're foreshadowing. Give me Saban and the Tide. I think they roll here. Sean's also going Alabama. And you move to the last playoff game. Is the Sugar Bowl. Washington takes on Texas. Texas 4-point favorites.
I think I'm going to go upset. I think I'm going with the Huskies. I like their coach. I like their quarterback. I think Texas has the tendency to be as good as anybody on any given day, but I also think they can lay an egg with the best of them. I think Sarkisian lays an egg today. Give me the Huskies.
You're not going for the rematch to go out in style on this one?
Nope.
Teacher versus pupil? Nope. Okay.
Nope. Not this time.
I'm with you. There's something about Washington that coach seems awesome. Quarterback, right? Very classy move going to the Heisman race with the names of all his teammates and coaches in his jacket. But with that being said, I think Texas is just better. I think they're more athletic, and I think the Longhorns whip up on the Huskies.
Washington has had a great year, and they continue it. And Phoenix is going to score a lot in this game. And I think Texas falls because Texas always chokes when it matters.
They're back.
They will not. No, they've been back for years. Horns are going. Horns are going.
The edibles are back. What is going on over there? What's going on?
The Horns are down. Give me Washington. And Sean is also going Washington. So Espo's got the Texas and Bama matchup.
I figured I'd be by myself when I picked Washington.
We'll see. So as you continue here, Austin, you obviously have Washington versus Bama in a championship game. Give me a winner and a score.
Oh,
go score! Wow, I'm going Alabama over Washington, 34-21.
So does Mr. Saban ride off into the night after this?
They hand him the trophy. He says a few words, and then he drops it, says, I'm out, I'm retiring into the sunset, and then Lanning's the head coach at Alabama the next day. I think that's the only reason Lanning is not the head coach at Texas A&M right now. That's what I think.
Wow.
I have no evidence to back that up at all. Zero.
You have really thought of this.
I feel like you and Dale Lever have been talking about message boards.
100%. That was my first thought. Is the amount of message board material since school has ended you've been reading. It's got you hooked. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We all know how message boards are, but I got Alabama and Texas. Oh, I'm going Saban gets his revenge, 45 to 32.
I don't know if Bama has enough offense for 45.
Jaden Miller.
Yeah.
I mean, they ain't done it. Jaden Milroe. Yeah, and you're giving Saban 10 days to create a game plan.
I'm with you on the rematch. Saban's not losing to the same team twice in the same year. That's not going to happen.
So you talk about people riding off into the sunset. I have Washington and Bama. Washington wins the national championship 28-27. And Washington, leaving the Pac-12, rides off into the sunset.
Wow.
Phoenix goes undefeated.
He's another one. He ain't far behind Bo Nix.
Well, he beat Bo Nix twice.
No, I'm saying in age-wise.
The amount of
game-wise.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, he's had a lot of tumultuous things through his career.
Yeah,
he's played
he overcome.
6 years, is it? 5 or 6 years? 6 years?
I just last year everybody dogged my boy Stetson because he was 32 playing college football, but Stetson was in high school when Bo Nix transferred out of Auburn. So, and then Penix over here too. They're both older, so I think we need to keep that energy here with the old men playing quarterback.
You know, it's before. Remember, like if you were old in college, you were like 23.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're like right in the middle of your college career at 23. In today's
You're
day
hitting
and
your
age.
prime. You're on your third.
Yeah, I mean,
ready to go.
yeah, and it's only going to make it worse with this new rule that the NCAA decided to pass with the transfer.
JT Daniels was ahead of his time. Nobody knew it.
He was a trendsetter.
Yeah. Yep. He started this 4 schools and finally just got aged out.
His age was catching up to his body.
He had to retire. It was falling apart.
He literally retired.
He was similar to Austin with his body failing him at a young age.
Yeah. We're same age.
you could have been playing college football.
I think me and JT graduated together.
He's older than the quarterback's coach.
Yep.
Anyway, Sean did not give me a final score, but he did pick the Tide. So we'll get that final score for him. The 3 people picked the Tide to win it all.
3 Tides? Oh, man, that's not good.
Not 3 Tides and a Huskies. Nobody's on the Jim Harbaugh wagon.
I told you, I'm on. I think they're good. I think they got a good team. I can't go against Saban.
I don't think anybody's going to get housed like last year. I think we're going to have some good games.
Hey, I saw this. I didn't see it. I heard this stat at the end of the year when they were talking about the playoffs. The average margin for victory in the playoffs since the playoff has been existent has been 19 points. So they've talked about how like everybody always complains, oh, they need this team in, they need to expand. They're like, maybe they don't need to expand the playoffs. There's one dominant team, a pretty good second place team, and then the other 2 have been terrible. This is probably the first. Now we're about to find out, but this is the first year that it seems like they've maybe needed a 6-team playoff. They still don't need 12 teams.
I think this year we could have went to 8. I think Ohio State is 7. No, I mean,
yeah,
give them a shot.
Catch.
They wouldn't have a quarterback.
He's on third.
I agree. I'm anti Ohio State as anybody, but I mean,
put it this way. I'm on the Lane train. If they'd have had the 12-team playoff this year, Old Mississippi would have been in the playoff. Old Mississippi played Alabama and Georgia this year and got boat raced by both those teams.
Those are only 2 games they lost, right? I mean, I understand.
But
I
you're putting a team in the playoff that can't compete with teams that are one team that's actually in the playoff right now.
Yeah, but it's going to be more for the first few round games because they wouldn't have to play Alabama early. They would be playing like Ohio State.
Actually, they would. They were like 10th.
Give me Ole Miss, Ohio State in a playoff game and like this week. I'd watch it.
I mean, basically, we had that in the SEC championship game.
Exactly. I'd watch. I mean, I'd watch.
Well, because you don't have anything else going on.
Even if I had to work that day, I'm watching Ohio State, Ole Miss in the playoffs at night. Come on,
Oh gosh.
y'all are missing the boat. What makes the moves around here?
Motorcycle gang.
Money, baby.
Motorcycle gang is running the money.
Cash is king, even in Chester.
That's right. It's in my motorcycle right now.
Go rip around 77, boy. Got to carry it up to Charlotte. Got to pay for them Panthers tickets.
I got to take it down to Columbia tomorrow. Maybe I'll make a drop a package off the Strasbo's house.
Come on down.
Like, I'm out of this.
The money team.
Hey, we're gonna wrap this thing up. So that's gonna do it for our pick 'em. From all of us here, all three of us here at PBR South Carolina. Have a great week.